University of Miami is back.
He has a bird. His name is Ronnie.
Let's get into it.
The refs hold on to beat the Falcons. Taylor Swift holds on to.
It's football.
Welcome to Morning Wood. Welcome back. My name is Jason. Some people call me Jay Biggs. This is Matt. Some people call him Matt. This is a sports show. We are dumb. Two idiots talking about sports. We had a big weekend in football. Let's hop right into the news with some injuries, unfortunately, in the NFL. Three big names. Devonta Smith left the game early in the fourth quarter with concussion on a pretty dirty hit, in my opinion. He's been ruled out indefinitely. He has a bird. His name is Ronnie.
Dude. I didn't even notice that in the note.
All jokes aside, I hope he's doing all right.
That's crazy.
Justin Herbert re-aggravated his high ankle sprain against the Steelers.
This is the luckiest team ever.
As soon as Jim Harbaugh saw him limping, he pulled him right out of the game. Need to get that healed up. Do not want to get that worse. We'll keep an eye on his status for the next week. Myles Garrett re-aggravated his foot injury that he had surgery on in the offseason against the Giants. Those are the three biggest names coming from the injury report out of week 3. Nothing really huge out of the league as far as news. We're about to recap what happened on Sunday here soon. Let's get into the best segment on the internet.
I'm gonna take that honor and roll it, baby. The Antonio Brown tweet of the day.
Antonio Brown.
Go on social media, man. This is about us, nobody else, man.
Today's tweet I'm choosing is hilarious. It's epic. We'll have it up. It's insidious. It's the insidious poster with P. Diddy photoshopped into it.
Guy needs a raise.
Dude, Antonio Brown's because I know this isn't him. He's usually, I feel like he's always the one controlling his social media. But yeah, his graphics team, his graphics design team needs a raise. They need a job on ESPN. This is amazing. Yeah, this is crazy too. There's a lot to choose from, but I'm going with Insidious out in theaters now. Follow Antonio Brown, put his noties on. This guy is a legend. All right. That's Antonio Brown tweet of the day. Let's get into what Jay was talking about. Let's talk about football. We got NFL Week 3 recap. A lot of stuff going on. Crazy land. I love football. Let's talk about it. We have Aaron Rodgers on Mr. Discount. Double check, baby. He and the Jets, he takes complete control of this offense. 281 yards, 2 touchdowns as the Jets dominate the Patriots. A good defensive team, by the way, the Pats. But they dominate at home, 24-3. Rodgers looked good. The defense looked really good. Any thoughts on this?
Rodgers looked like the Rodgers of old, finally, that we've seen in a couple years. So that's good to see for the Jets moving forward for sure.
Yeah, that touchdown throw on the sideline. Ooh, he's back, baby.
Let's talk about the Browns taking a fucking fat Brian at home, losing to the Giants and Daniel Jones, 21-15. Malik Neighbors made Daniel Jones actually look pretty good, like a good quarterback. Looks like drafting him top 10, 6 overall. Looks like it's paying off so far for the Giants. They get their first win of the season.
Yeah, the Browns suck. I'm done picking them. Like, they suck. The Browns they're terrible. Like, they need Nick Chubb back because Watson is.
The Browns are browning.
They are browning.
The Saints come back down to earth this week. The Eagles get a much-needed road win. Yeah. Saquon Barkley, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. That big 75-yard TD run, massive. 15-12 final score. Just looks like the Eagles season is going to depend on what Saquon does. Like week 1, he went off, drops the touchdown pass or the first down pass last week, and then has a huge day again. What would the Eagles look like without Saquon?
I don't know. Saquon's Barkley is him, bro. Like, they've called his number every week pretty much in Green Bay or against Green Bay. They had that touchdown pass to him. Again, they went to him against Atlanta, and they relied on him this week. He's definitely maybe the best offseason acquisition so far this year.
They're going to continue to need him if A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are both out next week.
That's huge, actually.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah, interesting. Definitely probably the best acquisition in the offseason. Let's talk about the Vikings.
The
3-0 Vikings rout one of the best teams in the league. They rout the Texans with MVP front runner Sam Darnold, who throws 4 touchdowns. The Vikings stout defense that, again, I don't think a ton of people are still talking about, but they pick off Stroud twice and seal a 34-7 win. Another big win. They're coming off beating 2 of the best teams in the league, one in the NFC, one in the AFC. They go beating the 49ers and then beating the Texans badly. Interesting. Not expecting this. Definitely the surprise of the league so far for the first 3 weeks. Any thoughts on
Sam Darnold's doing what he has to do, but his defense is giving him a short field. Like, I don't know how many turnovers they have on the season, but they pick off Stroud 2 times. I think they picked off Brock Purdy or forced some fumbles last week, at least like 2 or 3. So the Vikings defense is just like, just give me that ball.
Dude,
give it to Sam Darnold.
I was watching this on the red zone on my left monitor, and they started my red zone, and Texas got the ball. I'm watching the Steelers for like 5 minutes. I look to my left, and Justin Jefferson catches a touchdown already in like 3 minutes.
Justin Jefferson and then Aaron Jones, I think, is a big offseason pickup for them as well. He's been playing really well.
Yeah, no, they are not a team you want to play right now.
Definitely not going there.
No.
Skull. I love
crazy.
the Vikings.
This is crazy.
Bo Nix and the Broncos go to Tampa Bay, dominate the Bucks 26-7 on the road. Bo Nix actually looked really solid in this game. Had some trouble throwing INTs in the first 2 games, but kept it clean against the Bucks. Showed off his running ability a little bit. Got in for a touchdown, 47 yards on the ground. Picked up a lot of big first downs on 3rd down with his legs. Bo Nix and Sean Payton get their first win. Big win for the Broncos.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like a similar game to where Detroit lost to Tampa Bay. They kind of had a lull, and then they bounced back this week and beat the Cardinals, I think, on the road. So I think this is kind of similar for Tampa Bay. They do lull. I mean, I was not expecting this type of a loss. I had them winning, obviously, but even if they lost, I didn't expect it to be by 3 possessions or anything.
Right.
But yeah, Bo looked good, man. He protected the ball. He did what rookies should do, protect the ball and make plays. We kind of talked about how I think in the beginning of the season that we talked about with him and Sean Payton, it could work, the kind of short passing game, but he is athletic. Like he can make some plays with his legs, and he showed that. But yeah, I think this isn't. I wouldn't be too nervous as a Tampa Bay fan either as a loss, but I don't know. We'll see. I think they bounce back, hopefully.
Yeah.
But moving on to another kind of young quarterback, not a rookie, but Malik Willis showing his previous team, hey, you guys are idiots. They made a mistake.
Is Jordan Love a system quarterback?
I don't
What
know.
the heck?
I think they just have the quarterback gurus out in Green Bay and Cheeseland because this guy goes for 275 total yards and a touchdown. The Packers defense, the Cheeseheads, they come out, they have 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, and one of them being a pick 6 by Jair Alexander. The Packers win big, 30-14. Another game that I got wrong with my picks, was not expecting. I think Will Levis is now going to do something absolutely just jaw-droppingly dumb every single week, and I'm here for it. It's the funniest thing of the year. The pick to Jair Alexander. I mean, it's just like it's like a cover 2 buzz look, and he's just sitting on the ball, and he just takes it off. And
horrible decisions.
No, like it's bad. It's kind of funny because it's like comedy. It's just straight comedy. Some of these plays,
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
But taking that aside, the Titans suck. They're 0-3. That was your sleeper team on the season.
They're sleeping for sure. They are asleep. That's my asleep team of the year. They're sleeping it off right now.
Yeah,
they're in games. Like if Will Levis,
if he
give the ball to the other team, like they're in most of these games.
Yeah, no, it's more of a reflection on I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this in my life.
Dude, it's like Mark Sanchez butt fumble, but just like
every
like,
week.
he does something like that.
This is crazy. The sack play was crazy. He got crushed, and he sacks the ball, and the dude's just landing on his head. It's just crazy, man.
We'll Levis football, baby.
Anyway, moving on. Good win for the Packers, though. Shocking that they've won 2 games now without Love is crazy to me. But
yeah, that's what I wanted to say too. Like,
oh yeah,
they're winning games without Jordan Love, which is massive for them.
we talked about this too. We kind of did that 6-week
We were like,
game
if
slate.
they go 1-3 over these.
That was like 2 wins is
Yeah.
they won this season.
So
They already got those 2 wins. So
and Jordan Love looks like he was almost gonna play in this game.
I think they keep him healthy. I don't know who they
Sure.
have this week, but I think they should just let him get to 100%. There's no reason to bring him
I
back.
think he might be at 100% next week. Like, he was
Oh, okay.
really looking to play. Like, he almost played in this game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then
So,
shoot,
yeah.
the Packers are doing better than we thought. Moving on to my Steelers, the luckiest team in the NFL. We win 20-10 at home versus a half of Justin Herbert, basically. And the Chargers, we win at home. Fields played good. He did actually make some nice throws in this game. I'm not gonna lie. He played. This is definitely the best game he played all season, which was good to see. He continued a lot of drives, but in retrospect, I would really like to have Russ in. I've been doing the first 3 weeks of the season is just arguing with Steelers fans on Twitter. It's probably the highlight of my week, honestly. But a lot of people are saying that we should keep Fields in, and I get that because he's 3-0. But if this fan base thinks that Russell wouldn't be 3-0 with this defense, they're out of their mind. I think I could go in and maybe be 2-1 with this defense. Like, it's insane how well they played. But the huge injuries, like Herbert, Bosa going out like second play, I think he gets hurt, his back or something, definitely kind of benefited us in a huge factor. Herbert looked really good. He had like 130 yards at the half. Should have had 2 touchdowns already, but that ankle and him leaving is kind of like it's hard. I don't even know what to make of the Steelers. Like, I have no idea. Like, our offense is just not great.
Yeah, I think what the Fields thing, I think you just keep playing him. Like, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it right now. Like, if Justin Fields goes 3-0 and then you start Russ and then you lose, it's like, why did you put Russ in? But, like, I understand what you're saying. Like, your defense is playing the best in the NFL right now. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Looks like they're obviously going to continue with Fields.
Yeah. We'll score 14 points a game and win.
I mean, whatever works.
I guess.
So the first quarterback this season to throw for 300
Dude.
yards and 3 touchdowns. Guess who that is? It's
It's
the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, baby. He shows up after Bryce Young gets benched. Gets Carolina their first win. They beat Gardner Minshew and the Raiders. Bryce Young. He looks like a child.
Nah.
It's tough.
Nah.
I don't think he's going to make it in the NFL, unfortunately.
I don't even know what to make of this game. Honestly, I don't even know what to make of this game. Andy Dalton comes in. How old is Andy Dalton? Is he 40 years old? I don't even know anymore. He's back. This looks like the 2015 Bengals when they had that offense. I don't know what's happening. That's a much needed win for the fan base. I think the whole maybe state of North Carolina as a whole, like they needed this badly. It does not look good. I think the biggest takeaway is Bryce Young. Everybody's saying like they have no weapons, he has no help, all this stuff, and then Andy Dalton comes in, is not only playing well, but the first quarterback to throw for 303 tutties. That's not a great look for the former number one.
Are the Titans the only 0-3 team in the NFL?
They might be.
So.
They might be, yeah. That's sad. Yeah, because the Bears aren't, the Giants aren't, because they beat the Bags. Yeah, I think they might be the only one. We'd have to look into that, but yeah, crazy game. I don't know. Bryce Young, that's not a great look. We'll see how that looks moving forward if Andy keeps playing like that. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the IR Rams. This is probably the craziest NFL game of the weekend as far as like what transpired. They didn't lead for 59 of the 60 minutes. The Rams didn't. They have no receivers. I mean, they're asking people in the stands to come out and play wide out.
Tutu Atwell, baby.
Dude, like
Rams legend. Too Atwell.
Guy's never paying for a beer ever in LA ever again. They come back down 21-7 deficit late in the third. I think there's 3 minutes and like 19 seconds left. They go on a 20-3 run led by Matt Stafford and Kyren Williams. I'm shocked here. They battle back. They win as San Francisco, the shock, in my opinion, falls to 1-2, losing a division game. I don't know. I didn't watch too much of this game. All I remember was looking over. Brock Purdy had thrown his third touchdown of the game. I can't remember the receiver. Yes, Jennings going crazy. I'm like, oh, they're going to, this is panning out exactly how I thought. I'm watching Red Zone. I'm watching the Steelers. And then I turn my head and the Stafford's pointing at somebody and they're kicking the game-winning field goal. I was like, what happened in this game? Crazy game. I don't know, huge win for the Rams, I guess, and very disappointing for San Francisco.
I mean, John Harbaugh must have been incognito on the San Francisco sideline in the fourth quarter, just blowing that lead.
Oh no. One thing
that's a tough loss for the 49ers. Losing 2 straight now, losing a division game to no one on the Rams.
Depleted Rams team. Yeah.
So that's a tough loss.
I was actually going to text you after Brock threw his third touchdown. I was going to text you, by the way, like breaking news, Brock Purdy is not a game manager.
He's not a game manager.
And then they decided to not score in the second half of the game, so it's fine.
Let's move on. The refs hold on to beat the Falcons. I mean, Taylor Swift holds on to the Chiefs hold on to beat the Falcons 22-17 on Sunday Night Football. No. They're 3-0. How many calls are the Chiefs going to get? How many? Like, the NFL just needs to, it's so clear. They just need to come out and be like, yeah, we just want the Chiefs to go 3-peat, undefeated season, the best team to ever play football. It's actually insane. The no-call pass interference on Kyle Pitts was worse than the call that they got last week against the Bengals on the game-winning drive. What is happening?
Yeah, that was a horrible game. That was a horrible play. That was really bad. Especially that in that situation, and they still had the lead. It wasn't like Atlanta was winning that game or anything. They were gonna break the game up, and that's just a call that needs to be made. That's textbook bad defensive back or linebacker coverage, not turning your head, not
playing the ball, just tackling the tight end in the end zone.
And the line, the back judge in the end zone is right. It's right there. So that's not good. That was bad.
It's the Chiefs.
That was bad.
Let's talk about the matchup of the week. The Ravens finally get a win.
That's crazy.
But it feels like a loss.
Ravens flock, baby!
We hold on to dear life and win 28-25 on the road against the Cowboys. The Ravens are the best team in the NFL if there were only 3 quarters played in the NFL. There's no explanation other than it's a psychological meltdown when it's the fourth quarter on the clock. Everything that can go wrong in the fourth quarter for the Ravens just goes wrong. We can't run the ball.
Yeah. We
can't play defense. Todd Monken can't call the right plays. Harbaugh can't manage the game in the fourth quarter. Special teams can't recover an onside kick. Justin Tucker can't hit a field goal in the fourth quarter. What is happening?
Y'all are literally the worst.
What is happening?
Team.
I mean, we won, but what the finish a game. Finish a football game. 28-3, and we win 28-25. We got outscored 19-0 in the fourth quarter. I mean, if we want to take away some good things, we played Ravens football for 3 quarters. We 274 yards on the ground like we should. We have Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Winning recipe.
Told y'all you could do that.
We ran right at Micah Parsons pretty much the whole game. I mean, this is the first game that Derrick Henry really looked comfortable in this offense. Got him running downhill. Lamar was under center a little bit. Lamar also had some designed runs, which we haven't seen a lot of this season. And he gets 9 or 10 yards every time. We have the whole offensive line's pulling for him and out in front of him.
Yeah.
So just finish a game, bro. Finish a game.
Yeah, y'all need it.
We get a much needed win, but it doesn't get any easier for us. The Bills come to town Sunday Night Football next week. We need a win. We need to be 2-2. Probably a team that's going to make the playoffs. The Bills. So we need a win. Should be a banger. The Bills' run defense has been a little suspect to start the season as well. So just do the same thing, but Josh Allen in the fourth quarter scares me.
Yeah,
especially against us.
I'm not gonna lie. When y'all got the ball back on the last drive that closed out, and there was like 3 minutes left, and they had 3 timeouts, I was like, I think Dallas is about to get this ball back and tie this game up, which would have been insane.
I mean,
I don't know
that first down, and close the game out, but jeez.
I don't know what it is specifically with you guys, but I just feel like y'all's like, and that like in the fourth quarter, that comes down to coaching, prep, situational football, like all of it. It comes down to the details. That's really when the details come into factor. But I felt like that game, like you guys kind of relied on trying to play for like a field goal too much. Like that third down, y'all came out, ran the ball up the middle. Obviously, Dallas is kind of expecting it. Y'all could go aggressive there, to kind of not close the game out, but get another set of downs, waste more clock, and y'all run up the gut, and then Tucker comes out and misses that field goal. Like, I feel like y'all are kind of playing into like Tucker's hands a little bit too much, relying on like a good kicker. I know he hasn't been great this year and like over 50 yards or whatever, but still a good kicker. I just feel like you guys should be more aggressive. You guys have a lot of talent, especially in Lamar. I think like late in the game, like I love Henry, but you guys should be giving the 2-time MVP the ball more, in my opinion.
I mean, we figured that out on the very last drive when we were up 3 points.
Yeah, I think you guys should do that when you're up 14 points.
I agree. Trust me. I was losing my mind watching that fourth quarter. I was like, here we go again.
If y'all would have lost that game,
the season's over.
That would have been the craziest.
As soon as we can't recover the onside kick. Like, in the NFL, the onside kick is coming.
That's the difference now with the new kickoff. You know it's coming. There's no...
It bounces off. I think it was Zay. It bounced off. The Cowboys recover. And then when that happened, I was like, here we go. Here it goes. We're about to blow this shit again. Dak
marches down 2 touchdown drives. Crazy.
But we won.
Y'all did win. 1-2, baby. You guys got to win. Let's go.
Holy shit, dude. Season's still hanging on. At least the Browns lost. Hopefully the Bengals can lose, and then hopefully we can catch up to you guys at some point in the season.
You guys will. In the playoffs, we're going to lose the first game of the playoffs, and you guys will probably win or something. So
I don't know. No, I mean, I don't know. The wild card race in the AFC is going to be tough. So
it's kind of shaping out to be crazy right now. But you want
to let's talk about some college ball. Let's look over our Week 4 picks.
We tied
matchups. I mean, we picked all the same games. We both went 3-2 this week.
I hate Nebraska.
Yeah,
I'm never picking them.
In overtime.
Illinois
gets a W against Nebraska in Nebraska. Illinois have now beaten 2 ranked teams in their first 4 games.
That's impressive.
For real?
I think they're gonna be a solid team. I don't know if they're for real, but
Luke Altmaier, their quarterback, throws for 4 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes Jr. can't get it done in overtime.
Yeah, you can't beat Pat Mahomes. You have the rest on your side. You have Taylor Swift. Like, you got to win this game. You got to win this game at home for your boy.
But
you got to win this game at home, Nebraska.
That's tough. They're going to get bounced out of the top 25 for sure.
Yeah, not great.
Illinois is going to move up. But we had a banger of a game in the big house. USC goes to Michigan for their first Big Ten matchup. Michigan played Michigan football.
Yeah, they did.
In that game. They only had 32 passing yards.
Yeah, that's Michigan football.
290 on the ground, 3 touchdowns on the ground, a pick 6 on defense. Just the way they drew it up to get a win.
Yeah, they literally were like, how did we win in 1957? Yeah, we're going to do that this week.
No trickery there. We're going to run the football.
I was watching this game at dinner. It was my mom's birthday weekend, and I was watching this game at dinner. It was crazy. The opening, I texted you, that opening touchdown run, that the energy in that stadium. I love watching Michigan. Like, I love seeing like them play at home. That stadium rocking in the big house. Get a much-needed win. I'm hoping that they can make a little bit of a run here to kind of get into the playoff mix because I want to see them succeed. I don't want them to fall off a cliff or anything, but Yeah, good game though. Much needed win.
Yeah,
Let's
USC
move
didn't
on.
play that great
No, they didn't.
first half.
Moving on. I'm not going to talk too much about this because I'm going to recap it a little bit later. But Utah, the Utes win without Cam Rising. Shocker. They win in Oklahoma State. Take a dub 22-19. Again, I'm going to recap this a little bit later. So, yeah, just they much needed conference win without your starting quarterback. That's a huge game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Utah defense is for real. They're solid.
They are.
Tennessee gets a big win on the road in Oklahoma. Tennessee's defense holds Oklahoma to 222 total yards. Their defense, this is a big defensive game for Tennessee. They prove that they can win. They can show up when the offense doesn't score 50-plus points. So I think that was a big prove-it game for the Tennessee defense. Tennessee's for real.
Yeah.
They're a real team.
No, they're definitely like the least talked about of and it's tough because the SEC is just stacked. You got Texas, Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss. Like, good Lord, there are some just dogs in the SEC. But Tennessee, yeah, they came out on the road. They basically handled this game easy. Yeah. Tennessee, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how they kind of pan out the rest of the season with all the other favorites in the SEC. But last game that we are picked that I got wrong. Baylor chokes on the bone in overtime against Colorado. Colorado squeaks this one out 38-31. We're going to talk about this in a second here, but yeah, I got this wrong. Overall, we went 3-2. We both picked the same exact games. We lose the Nebraska game. We correct on Michigan, right on Utah, right on Tennessee, and then Baylor just, I don't know. Do I pick Colorado again if we pit them in the week picks? I don't know. Every time I pick them, they win. Every time I don't, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what's happening making sense. But that's our picks. I moved to 12-11 on the season. Jay's at 14-8. Still kind of close. I'm back 2 games. Need to catch up here. We'll see how this slate's looking in the next episode. But let's recap a little bit. We don't really have much to talk about of week 4 in college football. We kind of covered the big games, but the one game that we want to talk about, it was a doozy out there in Boulder, baby. The freaking crazy Buffaloes thriller versus Baylor game just literally can be summed up in the last couple of possessions in regular, regulation, and then obviously overtime. But absolute banana land. Baylor, just to start off to kind of summarize the ending of this game, Baylor's kicker misses a 46-yard attempt. It would have sent the Bears to go up 10. 2 possessions, only 2:18 left in the fourth quarter, but he hooks it. It was a good hold, but he kind of knuckleballs it, misses to the right. Huge break for Colorado, and then Shador straps the backpack up for the Buffaloes, the herd. He puts them on his back in this last drive of regulation. He has some ridiculously clutch plays. He has a scramble rollout on 2nd and 24. The game's kind of looking dire there. You're backed up behind the sticks a lot, but he picks up 17 of the 24, and then he throws a dart on 3rd and 7, which I think they convert there, but I guess they didn't give it to him, so they get a little Jason Kelsey 4th and 1 tush push to convert, and then from that moment on is where we just get into a full blown Twilight episode. The 2nd and 10, there's 11 seconds left. And Shador is kind of sitting in the pocket. He has great protection for once in his life. He's never seen it before. His eyes get this big. He finds a receiver down in the back left of the field.
Chest plate.
He does a beautiful play right off the chest of what's his name? I can't even remember his name. Anyway, the receiver drops it. The cornerback makes a weird play on the ball, but the next play. Literally, the next play, there's no time left. There's 2 seconds left to start this play. He throws yet another beautiful pass. He's rolling to his opposite side. He's rolling to his left, throwing from his right. He makes a beautiful throw to LeJontay Wester, who comes back to the ball, makes a great adjustment. Diving catch in the rain underneath. Crazy play. I have to point out, Baylor, they attack the same cornerback in back-to-back plays. Number 8, you need to focus on your major, buddy. You got to focus on your major. But anyway, great adjustment by Wester. No time left on the clock. In my opinion, you have the momentum. You come back. At home, you go for 2 here. You go for the win. I know they ended up winning this game, which we'll get into a little bit, but I think you take the momentum, you win this. Jay, what are your thoughts on that right there?
I agree. You don't let their offense see the field. You go out on your sword. You came back. You like, it's a miracle that you had the opportunity to go for 2 here.
Yeah.
Momentum. Their defense. Excuse me. Their defense is their confidence is low. Like you have the play that you have to get 2 yards. You have that play in your playbook to get that. I go for 2 there 100% of the time, but it ends up working out for them. But I don't want Baylor to have the opportunity to get back on the field in overtime and possibly just keep scoring with us. So I go for 2 there.
No, I agree. I think after the drop pass, I think that time that they had, I think you draw up that play, obviously the rollout, hopefully get single coverage on the outside and you tie it. But I think you phone in a 2-point conversion play like quickly, kind of catches Baylor off sides there. You kind of get on the line and go for 2. But regardless of that, we get into overtime. Baylor wins the toss and confidently takes defense first. Doesn't work out. Colorado marches right down, scores. Again, but continuing in this Twilight episode, we have Baylor just answers right back there on the 1-yard line. They call it inside handoff. And Travis Hunter puts a hat on a ball hitting of course. It's literally Shador and Travis Hunter. We literally said they're not going to win games all the time. And them two said, shut up. We're winning every game, actually, that we win. It's going to be on us. He puts a hat on the ball. Their running back, Baylor's running back, Richardson, who isn't – you have one-on-one with Hunter. All you have to do is literally just take your momentum. Just take your momentum to the right, stiff arm, reach out when tie the game up. Maybe go for 2 and even win it. No, he tries to truck Hunter, ends up flying forward. Hunter's helmet hits the ball, fumble into the end zone, and Colorado wins it. This game was crazy. The last 3 minutes of this was absolute banana land, and this is why we love college football right here. I hate that they won. I'm sick of talking about the Buffaloes.
Insane game.
But this was an insane game. Crazy. Any thoughts on this?
No, I mean, you covered it pretty well. A huge win for Colorado. I just don't know how they even pulled that off. Like, just thinking about it, I was just watching that. It was like 12:30 at night, I think. Just watching that in my bed, like, what is going on right now? That was just, they won. Crazy land.
Big game. And it reminded me of that Bama, I think, Auburn game a couple years ago when it was that last play. Might have even been last year. That last play in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. That's what it reminded me of. Because when Shador threw that first pass on second down and it was dropped, I was like, oh, well, that was their opportunity. Like, that was it. You're not going to get that again. And then Baylor was like, no, we're actually running the same coverage, and you're going to get the same look with our same cornerback who played terrible. Crazy. Excuse me.
Let's talk about our matchup of the week from last week. Utah, without their starting quarterback, Cam Rising, get a big dub on the road in Oklahoma State. How'd you feel about this game?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, in breaking down this matchup. It was a huge game, huge conference game. Could be, playoff implications. And definitely not the shootout I thought it was going to be, kind of lower scoring. I think you had mentioned that the over-under was pretty low, so they were right on this one.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize Cam was not playing in this game. I didn't realize until I literally turned the game on my other monitor. He was out with that taped-up hand and fingers in a nice way, but my guy, you gotta play some football here. It is a big conference game on the road. You got to play, but luckily
he's had injury issues.
I think he was out last week, right? Or he kind of battled that hand thing last week as well. Yeah. But regardless, luckily the Utes steal this game a little bit on the road in a huge win. That's crazy to win that game without their starting quarterback. But looking at the box score, breaking it down a little bit, they dominated this game at least in the statistical standpoint. They pretty much dominated everything. The key two, I think, in my opinion, the two key stats that they dominated was 456 total yards without your starting quarterback is kind of insane. And then 42 minutes of time and possession to Oklahoma State 17. Holy moly, talk about ball control. They literally played keep away. I know the score didn't really show that, but good Lord, they kept that thing away. But the most impressive thing to me about Utah was, like you said earlier when we talked about it in our picks recap, was the defense. Their defense played out of their mind. They hold Bowman and that offense to 4 for 15 on third down. They forced 2 picks, and they hold a top 5, maybe 3 running back in the country to 58 total yards. Wow, what a big day for the defense. The Utah Utes. Yeah, what are your kind of thoughts on this one? I know that was a big factor, the running back and that offense, but they hold them down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Utah's defense, like top 3 defense in the country. I mean, they pretty much win this game because their defense holds on, keeps Oklahoma State's offense off the field.
Yeah.
And then Utah's backup does what he needs to do to win the game. But huge win for Utah. Cam Rising needs to play football, man.
He does.
He needs to just get on the field and play football.
You're like 30, bro.
He's a great quarterback when he's playing, but he's never on the field. They probably win this game by 30 if he's playing.
Yeah.
So he just needs to play, man. It's upsetting that he's hurt all the time.
Yeah, I agree. Senior, you're like 30. This is your last year. Like you gotta put one on for the team. But yeah, my biggest key matchup of this game last week, talking about it, was Utah's D-line versus that veteran offensive line for the Cowboys. And I know they didn't get a lot of sacks, but they definitely did win this battle, in my opinion. They did. They only gave up 48 total yards rushing on the day, which is big, in my opinion. And then they only, like I said, they did get 1 sack, but they had a lot of key pressures on Bowman, which is huge because, like I said, if you kind of rattle him, get him out of the pocket, he's going to maybe make mistakes, which he hasn't shown all year because he's literally not been sacked. But that pressure led to one of his interceptions and honestly led to possibly what could have been another one. I know he threw 2, but the one was like a go ball. It was kind of a one-on-one ball. That doesn't really that's whatever. But the other one that was dropped was another, kind of forced throw with pressure. So I think Utah's D-line and offensive line really in this game, I think they won the trenches, which is a huge factor in winning this game. And a big win without a starting quarterback. That's a huge win for Utah, and still the leaders in that Big 12 conference. I like them a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, that's our recap of last week's or this past weekend's college football and NFL. Let's get into the brand new top 25. Same as last week. I'm going to put this on my other monitor really quick, but same as last week, the top 4 teams, Jason, they don't change. We got Texas 1, Georgia 2, Ohio State 3, and Bama 4. Obviously, we agreed on this last week. Do you still agree on it this week?
I do. Georgia obviously didn't play, so we'll see how they shape up this week. Big matchup against Alabama.
Yes.
But Ohio State gets it done against Marshall. Texas, Arch Manning, get it done against Louisiana Monroe. I agree. I agree with this top 5 or top 4.
I do too. I think that these are definitely the 4 best teams. We did say last week that Georgia was playing Alabama this Saturday. We kind of messed that one up. They're playing them this week. That gauntlet for Georgia starts this Saturday. We're going to see how that pans out for them. We're going to probably break that down maybe in the next episode because Georgia, y'all need to start playing some good football here shortly.
Sure.
5 through, we always do this, but 5 through 12, this is your playoff. Obviously, we would take one team out and put in, I don't even know who's leading in the other, that one conference that would be in, but
Boise State looks like in the Mountain West.
Yeah, so Boise State would technically be in for, what would we bump out? Michigan? Yeah. So, but regardless, we'll go through 5 through 12. This is what my dream playoff would be. This is a beautiful look. I'm looking at beauty right here. We got Tennessee, Ole Miss, Miami, baby, Oregon, Penn State, Utah, Missouri, and Michigan. Any kind of topics or touches on this one you want to break down a little bit?
No, Tennessee moves up to the 5th spot after getting a good win at Oklahoma.
Yep.
Missouri drops after barely escaping Vanderbilt, which is crazy. They drop 4 spots. Missouri's
I think they're frauds.
Potential fraud alert here.
I think they're frauds. I'm not gonna lie.
So they've escaped 2 games now this season. They're 4-0, but I don't know. It's not looking good for Missouri. But other than that, I think everybody else pretty much stays the same. No one really played anyone except Utah and Tennessee. And then Michigan, obviously,
Yeah.
in the 12th spot, beating USC.
Yeah, the biggest movement here is pretty much everyone from 5 to 10. Literally all move up because Missouri gets bounced. Obviously, the big win is Utah on the road without their starting quarterback. They move up, 2 spots. Michigan moves up 6 after, they kind of controlled that game for the most part. I know it was close, but they showed that they're still a good football team. They jump up 6 spots, and USC falls 2. I don't really disagree with any of this besides Missouri. What is Missouri? I don't know. They come out the first 2 weeks, they're dominating garbage teams, and then they play some okay guys, and they're struggling. Like, if they start playing some real teams in the SEC, they're going to get exposed, in my opinion. So I don't think they're going to stick around for too long. But overall, that top 12 I like a lot. I think Missouri will kind of get, fiended out for a better team. But moving on, we're going to go, we kind of clump this up, the bottom half, 13 through 25. A couple of movers. We got Louisville, who I haven't watched really at all this year. They move up 4 spots. Yeah. Illinois, baby. Illinois moving up 5 spots.
Top 20, baby.
Top 20. And then we got Oklahoma State and Oklahoma both falling 6 spots as they both take the L to ranked teams this week. And then Kansas State.
They got bullied by BYU. I watched most of that game. They got dominated by BYU.
We thought Kansas State was going to be one of those sneaky teams that sits around, the 13th, but no.
Huge loss.
We'll be seeing you.
With Utah getting that big win at Oklahoma State and Kansas State losing, Utah is pretty much in control of the Big 12 right now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Oklahoma State dropped 6 spots. I know they did lose to a backup quarterback, but Utah's a good team. Like that, I know they lost at home, but 6 spots. I still think Oklahoma State could give teams that are sitting from 14 to 19 some trouble. So I'm kind of shocked about that one, but yeah. So we'll be seeing you to Northern Illinois. The Huskies lose. They're out of the top 25. It was a great season. Thank you for beating FSU. We appreciate that. Thank you guys. Or sorry, Notre Dame. Yeah. You guys take your 1 point whatever million, and we're gonna move on to next year. Overall, I don't really disagree with too much of this besides Oklahoma State. I like some of the teams moving up. Illinois, Iowa State, Clemson's kind of moving back into the mix. Maybe they can make a push if they remember how to play football. They look like doo-doo week 1, but LSU, in my opinion, overrated. They almost lost to UCLA. They should have lost to UCLA. I know they kind of pulled away at the end. I don't care. They suck. Hate their quarterback. They should be out. Anyway, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, BYU gets that big win at Kansas State. They creep into the top 25 at number 22. They have Baylor next week. They could make some noise in the Big 12. We'll see.
Yeah. Them and Boise State.
Don't sleep on BYU.
Them and Boise State are newcomers to the top 25.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the top 25 though. Again, we pretty much always agree usually on the top 12-ish. That's kind of our, I'd say 1 through about 15, 16 is kind of where our playoffs are going to be, the meat and potatoes of it. So, a lot of movement this week, and I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. We got a lot of good football coming up, so excited to see how that goes.
Let's move on to our last segment of the day. Over/under reactions for the weekend. Let's get it started.
This segment's grown on me. I kind of like this. I love a little overreaction Monday. It's fun. I know we got some juicy ones for you. Jay, the Bears, did they make a big mistake? Should they have kept Fields, who's now 3-0, and instead of trading him and drafting Caleb Williams?
I think this is an underreaction. I think whoever's on the Bears is just going to not play well because their offensive line is horrible. They have weapons. Keenan Allen's obviously been hurt, but I think this is an underreaction. I don't think they made a mistake. I mean, Fields is playing well for the Steelers, but it's the team, not the player, that is not performing well.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake for the Bears, honestly, not thinking about it, is not drafting an O lineman with that 12th pick they had. Maybe even trading up and getting like a Joe Alt or something. Like they needed something to secure this offensive line, and they have not done that.
Yeah. Let's move on. Is Bryce Young's time done in Carolina?
Oh man, this is such a good question. This might be the question of the week. After that performance by Andy Dalton,
I don't think it's too hard.
I'm gonna say yes. I think this is a underreaction. I genuinely think like usually in your sophomore year you kind of know what NFL quarterback you get. Usually it's by the end of the year. Most people will say that's kind of usually when you kind of get an idea. But the problem is that the whole narrative was there's no one out there in Carolina. They're playing with plumbers. They're playing with janitors. They got nobody, even though they have Deontay Johnson and Thielen and Hubbard. Like they got nobody. They got nobody. Well, Andy Dalton said we got people. We got me. I'm throwing 3 touchdowns. I'm gonna be the first quarterback in the league this year. It ain't gonna be Herbert. It ain't gonna be Lamar. It ain't gonna be Mahomes. It ain't gonna be Allen. But it's gonna be Andy Dalton with the big game. So yeah, I think I've been saying it since last week. Nah. I think Bryce, I think he can get shipped to Miami and get coached up a little bit by Mike McDaniels, maybe fix that mess down there or something. But yeah, I think his time in Carolina is done.
Yeah, I think he can be successful in like a perfect situation, like a Brock Purdy,
Justin
or
Fields.
yeah, like something like that. But if he can't be the playmaker, the big arm kind of guy. Like he needs a good run game, I think, to be successful.
He's literally like
Play
jumping
action.
to make throws over the O-line.
When I see him like off the field, he looks like a child.
Excuse me.
He looks like a high school quarterback or something. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel bad when I like see him. Like I'm like he just doesn't look happy. He looks like I don't know, just going through the motions of. He doesn't look like an NFL quarterback when I see him play.
Yeah.
But
I definitely agree. I think he needs to put some weight on. I think he needs to get into a system like Sam Darnold did. I think he needs to find a team that will. He's not going to be the guy that's going to make the plays like Josh Allen can or Lamar or those type of quarterbacks. But if he finds a team like Purdy did or Fields, like I think he can have some success. But yeah, I don't know.
let's talk about the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
They win. The Eagles now will win the NFC East after getting a big win on the road in New Orleans.
I think this is a underreaction right now. I know the Giants, somehow won this game, won a game against, the Browns. They took a Brown. The Commanders, they're still young. They got a rookie quarterback. I'm not worried about them. The only other team really was Dallas, and good Lord, Dallas, I don't know what y'all are doing. Y'all get blown out, and then y'all should have got blown out by y'all's Ravens. If there was 3 quarters, they would have got blown out again. I think the Eagles are good, man. I think they came in, kind of did what we said they were going to do, was cool down this hot, Saints team. And I think personally right now they're not even playing good, which is crazy. They didn't play great against Atlanta. They should have still won that. They should still be, honestly, they should be 3-0. But they really haven't played great. They did play good against Green Bay. They put up decent amount of points, but defensively, they're still kind of finding their footing. This is probably definitely the best defensive game they played, holding that Saints offense to 15, I think, or 12. That's a big game. But I think offensively, they're still trying to figure some stuff out. Missing, AJ and now Devontae Smith. They're still going to, have some hurdles. But this team has yet to hit full stride. So I definitely think they're going to easily win the NFC East, honestly.
Yeah, I mean they're a drop away from being, or a catch away from being 3-0. AJ Brown and Devonta Smith moving forward. I mean it's the Saquon Barkley is the Eagles right now. He's doing everything for them. But when AJ Brown comes back and Devonta Smith, we'll see his status when they both come back and Saquon's going and Jalen Hurts really gets it going with the offense. The defense played well, but I am worried a little bit about that secondary moving forward. But I mean, that offense can really get going.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, obviously, their division is weak right now, so they're definitely standing out in that division.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I agree. All right, Jason. The guy you might have not believed in to start the season when I talked about the Vikings and their record going and finishing third, I think, in their division. But this is Sam Darnold, the best quarterback in the NFL, or is it his team? What is it?
This is an overreaction. Sam Darnold is playing really well. He's doing what he has to do. 4 touchdowns this week. I mean,
capitalize off turnovers, man.
Yeah, he's playing well. I'm not saying I'm not going to say he's a system quarterback and it's the situation because he is playing good football.
Yeah.
But is he the best QB in the NFL? No, it's an overreaction. Skull, baby, 3-0.
3-0 is crazy. All right, we'll pump the brakes on Sam Darnold a little bit. Another one in the NFC though, Mike McCarthy, and the highest paid player, one of the best defenses on paper. They're 1-2. Mike McCarthy doesn't finish the season as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
This is I think an overreaction.
Ooh.
Unless it's week 16 and they're just way out of the playoff picture. I don't see him getting fired mid-season. Is he the coach next year? That's another question. But I think it's an overreaction that he doesn't finish the season.
I don't know. We'll see.
And then our last one of the day, the 49ers fall to 1-2.
Oish.
Do they win, or do the 49ers not win their division? Do they not win the NFC West?
This is maybe rivaling the Bryce Young question as the best overreaction question in the week, but this is tough. Seattle 3-0. Yeah. You know, the 49ers just lost a division game that they should have won. I know it was in LA, but they should have took this one home. Playing the IR team of the league. I think this is it's close, and I'm going to say it's an underreaction. And the only reason I'm going to say that is I still believe that they have the best personnel, even on defense. I know my Steelers are playing really, really good, but we've kind of gotten some breaks with who we've played to start the season. We played a hurt, Kirk Cousins Atlanta team. We played a rookie, Bo Nix, and then we played Justin Herbert for a half. So I still think 49ers have the best defensive roster in the league. And honestly, they should have won that game. They literally look like the Ravens in the fourth quarter. So I think they should easily be 2-1. I think Seattle also is benefiting off of not playing a ton. They've also played the Broncos and now New England. So we'll see. But I think the 49ers still have the personnel, especially when they get healthy, to win this division. So I think it's a slight under.
They need Christian McCaffrey back.
They need to win next week. That's what they need. If not, we'll be seeing.
That's going to be tough for them. All right.
Yeah.
That is it. That is the episode. Football's back, baby.
Crazy land. Crazy football.
What is happening in everything?
I don't know. That red rocket, baby. The red rifle.
Andy Dalton's playing football in 2024.
He's the only quarterback in 2024 to do that. What is happening? Colorado wins an OT like that. The fans stormed the field. They broke the goalpost before they even ruled the game was over. They don't even care.
They said the game's over. We know. We already know.
Bryce Young, is he done? Caleb Williams,
Ravens win.
The Ravens got to win.
1-2, baby.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
I don't know. Wrap this John up.
We're going 14-2. 15-2.
I had y'all 12-6. 12-6.
We're not losing after that.
This guy's an idiot.
We're not losing to we're beating the Bills on Sunday Night Football.
All right, guys. We're going to wrap this one up. That's been your week 3 of NFL. Week 3 of NFL. Week 4 of college football. We got great games coming up this week. Georgia's losing to Bama by 30.
Massive college football slate this weekend.
And we're going to talk about it in 2 days. We'll see you guys
NFL's always crazy.
In 2 days.
2 days.
When this drops. I've been a little under the weather. I'm sorry about that. I sound like an idiot. I mean, I always sound like an idiot, but I sound even worse today. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys in 2 days. We love you. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, tell everybody. Bye.